football fans, we are ready for NFL picks for week number 10 in the league where they play for Penn. Let's get right to it. 12-2 last week, 13-3 the week before. That's 25-5 the last 2 weeks. Show some love. Show some love. 12-2 last week, 13-3 2 weeks ago, 25-5 the last 2 weeks. Show some love. All right, week number 10. 6 teams on a bye this week, so you don't have that many games to choose from. Denver's on a bye. They're up to 3-6. They beat Cleveland last week with the backup quarterback. Texans up to 6-3. They beat Jacksonville. Texans go into first place. Jacksonville down to 4-5 with the loss to Houston over in London. That was a pitiful, disgraceful performance by the Jaguars. So much for the Minshew magic. Time to get Foles in there. Pats on a bye. They're down to 8-1. They finally take a loss. They lose to Baltimore. Eagles also on a bye. They're up to 5-4. Beat Chicago. Eagles starting to get some things together. And Washington on a bye. Washington's basically been on a bye the whole year. They're down to 1-8, lost to Buffalo. Okay, so those are your bye teams. Let's get to week number 10. Let's start down in New Orleans, one of my favorite cities. The Superdome. Mardi Gras. Fat Tuesday. Who dat? I said who dat? With the New Orleans Saints of 7-1 coming off a bye, minus 12.5 against their arch rivals, the Atlanta Falcons, who are also coming off a bye. The Falcons are having a miserable season at 1-7. Matt Ryan should play this week. It's not going to matter. 12 points. This is a perfect 4-team teaser game where you get those 12 points. Move it down to pick 'em. Take New Orleans. That's one of your teams in your 14 teaser games. You got to think New Orleans is going to win and win easy. The Falcon defense is awful. I mean awful. I know this is a big rivalry. I know these teams have a lot of history. The Falcons just don't have it this year. And to me, the Saints, with Breeze back, they're one of the contenders to win the Super Bowl. Their defense is very, very good. Saints roll in this game. That's pick number 1. One more time. Who dat? Pick number 2. Let's go to the jungle in Cincinnati, where it hasn't exactly been ferocious this year. With the Baltimore Ravens a minus 10 against the Cincinnati Bengals. Baltimore up to 6-2, beat New England. How about Baltimore the last couple of weeks? Go into Seattle and win. Then they turn around and beat New England. Baltimore doing a very nice job. Baltimore always does a nice job. They're one of those teams that always seems to get it together. They always do a great job with personnel, the Ravens. Baltimore minus 10 in Cincinnati. Cincinnati 0-8 coming off a bye. Cincinnati right now is the number 1 pick. Cincinnati has the number 1 pick right now. That's how bad it's gotten for the Bengals. And you can't blame Marvin Lewis anymore. He's not there. Dalton taking a seat. Listen, this is a perfect 3-team teaser game where you get 9 points. You can get this game down to 1. You got to think Baltimore's going to win comfortably. How could you possibly like Cincinnati in this game? Baltimore just beat Seattle and New England. I mean, come on. Got to like Baltimore. That's pick number 2. Pick number 3. Let's go to Indianapolis, where the Indianapolis Colts are minus 10.5 against the Miami Dolphins. Colts down to 5-3, lost a tough game to Pittsburgh. Brissett is hurt, not sure if he's going to play, not sure if Hilton's going to play. Colts have now fallen a half a game behind the Texans. A lot of stuff going on in this game. That was a tough loss for the Colts against Pittsburgh. Vinatieri misses the field goal at the end. I was thinking of the old movie Pet Detective with Jim Carrey, where, Ray Finkel misses the game-winning kick for the Dolphins because Dan Marino doesn't have the laces out. Same thing here. Those laces weren't out, and Vinatieri sailed it to the left. Laces out, Dan Marino, as Ray Finkel said in Pet Detective. So that was a very tough loss for the Colts. By the way, the Colts, all 8 games they've played this year, decided by less than 7 points. That's amazing. So Colts at home, minus 10.5 against the Dolphins. The Dolphins win a game. They're 1-7, beat the Jets. And who said the Dolphins were going to win last week? Who took the Dolphins? Show some more love. I said the Dolphins had a chance to win that game. They won the game outright, and the Dolphin fans are going, oh no, we won a game. Now we're out of that number one pick right now. No Tua right now. I mean, the Dolphins and their fans were hoping to get that number one pick. I mean, they jettisoned all their players away. You figure you're going to go 0-16 the way they started the year, losing 59-10, 45-0. The Dolphins have been better the last few weeks. They've been competitive. They beat the Jets. They almost beat Washington. They were in the game with Buffalo. They hung in against the Steelers for a while. The Dolphins have been more competitive. Having said that, again, this is another 3-team teaser game where you get 9 points. You move it down to like a point and a half. You got to think the Colts are going to win, even without Brissett, even if Hoyer quarterbacks. You have to think they're going to have enough to beat the Dolphins, in Indianapolis. You're going to have to, like I said, though, Dolphins playing a little better. They're not getting totally bombed. They're hanging in these games. So they've shown some improvement. So give the Dolphin players credit. Give them credit. They're not working with a lot here. So give them some credit for at least hanging in there and battling. And the Dolphin fans are going, oh no, this can't be happening. We're not going to get Tua now. There's still time, Dolphin fans. You still could get him. But pick number 3 is Indianapolis. Pick number 4. Let's go to the Big D in Dallas. Jerry's World. How about them Cowboys? With the Dallas Cowboys, -3 against the Minnesota Vikings. Dallas up to 5-3, beat the Giants, got off to a slow start, pulled away early. Minnesota down to 6-3, tough loss for Minnesota in Kansas City. Remember, no Mahomes, that was a game the Vikings could have won. They could have stolen that game. They really could have. And with Green Bay losing, Minnesota could have got up into a tie with Green Bay. Remember, they play one more time, I think, in Minnesota. So that was a tough loss for Minnesota. Never easy going into Arrowhead, even without Mahomes. So it's not a disgraceful loss, but they could have won that game, Minnesota. So they let that one slip away. This is a very interesting game. I'm going to move the line to 9 and take the Vikings in a 2-team teaser. I think the game is too close to call. I think it's a very close game either way. Listen, if you told me Dallas was going to win, I couldn't argue with you, but it's a very tough game to pick either way. So I feel comfortable moving it to 9 and taking Minnesota that way, thinking the game is going to be decided by a touchdown or less. Very good game, though. One of the must-watch games of the weekend. Keep an eye on that game. That's pick number 4. Pick number 5. Let's go to the dog pound in Cleveland, where, believe it or not, the Cleveland Browns are -3 against the Buffalo Bills. Now, Cleveland is 2-6, lost to Denver. Even without Flacco, they still lost. Buffalo 6-2, coming off the win against Washington. But yet Cleveland is favored. And I don't want to hear about, Cleveland, the stadium there being a hornet's nest, like you can't win in there. Cleveland has been one of the most disappointing teams in the league. Remember all the preseason hype with Beckham and all that? Remember, Cleveland had a decent year last year. They've taken a major step back here. A major step back. And that's saying something considering we're talking about the Browns. And just on general principle here, I'm moving the line to 9 and taking Buffalo in a 2-team teaser. I got to show some respect for Buffalo. They're 6-2 playing a 2-6 team. Where does a 2-6 team, how do they become a 3-point favorite? I mean, how is that even possible? 2-6 against 6-2, the 2-6 team is favored. No, not in my book, they're not. I'll take Buffalo +9 and feel very comfortable that way. That's pick number 5. Pick number 6. This is the dreaded Thursday night game. Let's go out to Oakland. The Oakland Raiders. Chucky! The Grim Reaper. Vader. The guy in the gorilla costume. That wacky guy. And all those crazy fans in the black hole. As we have a division matchup here. And an interesting game where the LA Chargers are now -1 over the Oakland Raiders. That line has moved. Originally, the early line, Raiders were favored. Chargers looked very good beating Green Bay, so now the Chargers are favored. Chargers -1 on the road in Oakland. Chargers up to 4-5, laid it on Green Bay. That is the best the Chargers have looked all season. The Chargers are capable. Where has this been all year? Gordon finally looked good. Defense doing some nice things. They carved up Green Bay. Chargers from start to finish in that game. And we know the Chargers have the talent. They're better than 4-5. They're just so flaky. Very good win by the Chargers. Oakland, they're up to 4-4. They beat Detroit. Oakland has been very competitive this year. Gruden is starting to put some things together. That offensive line looks good. And remember, Oakland didn't have a home game for 2 months. 2 months they didn't have a home game, and still they're 4-4. Nice job. All right, this is a very strange game, and I don't bet Thursday Night Football. If I was to bet it, I would move the line to 7 and take Oakland at home, and I would look for the hook. Look for a spread that has the Chargers 1.5 favored. You can get it to 7.5. You get 7.5, you get Oakland, you get the home team. You got to think this is going to be a close game either way. You have to. You have to think it's going to be a close game. Both teams on short rest. You know those Thursday night games, they're bizarre. I would look for a spread that's 1.5, push it to 7.5, take the Raiders in a 2-team teaser. You get 7.5 points and the home team. That's how I would play that game. But you know me, I stay away from Thursday Night Football. That is pick number 6. Pick number 7. Road trip. My bags are packed. I don't have to go too far for this one. Let's go to the Meadowlands in New Jersey. Not too far from here, where we have the battle for New York, even though the game's played in Jersey, where the New York Giants are now favored by -2 over the New York Jets. This is a Jet home game, but there'll be plenty of Giant fans in attendance. Giants down to 2-7, lost to Dallas, started off good, faded out late. Listen, you're not going to get much from the Giants. They don't have enough talent. They have a poor defense. We'll see how Jones develops. You're not going to get many wins from the Giants. And then the New York Football Jets, 1-7, lost to Miami. I mean, my goodness, does it get any worse for the Jets? My bags are packed. Road trip. I have to pack light because I'm just going over the river here for this one. But I'm going to get there early. I want to do some serious tailgating out at MetLife Stadium for this gargantuan of a matchup. The Battle of New York. Jets, Giants. Who's with me? Come on down to MetLife Stadium, everybody. We'll get there early for some early tailgating. And then we get to sit back and enjoy Jets, Giants. Oh, yeah! Woo! Yeah! Woo! I can't wait for this one. I am ready to roll. Ready to roll for this one. The Giants, believe it or not, are a 2-point favorite and it's considered a road game. Like I said, it's a Jet home game. There'll be plenty of Giant fans in the house. If I have to play this game, I would move the line to 8 and take the Jets. The Jets will be home. I don't think either one of these teams is capable of blowing out the other. I don't. This could be like a 12-10 game decided by a safety late. That's how bad these two teams are. So if I had to play the game, I'll move it to 8 and take the Jets. I'm not personally going to go anywhere near this game with my own money, but my bags are packed. I'm packing light because I'm just going over the river. Who's with me? Come on down to MetLife. The Battle for New York, which is played in Jersey. Jets, Giants. Oh, yeah! Woo! Let's go! That's pick number 7. Pick number 8. Let's go to the Windy City in Chicago, Soldier Field, where they're going to be very depressed. With the Chicago Bears on -3.5 against the Detroit Lions. Bears down to 3-5, lost to Philadelphia. They had 9 total yards in the first half. The Bears were down 12-0. Tried to rally a little bit in the second half. They just don't have enough offense. And I'll tell you, the defense isn't playing great either. They let Philly control the ball for 40 minutes of this game. 40 minutes. Now listen, the offense takes the bulk of the blame and the coaching and the play calling and Trubisky. The defense isn't as great as we thought. It's a good defense. It's not an all-time defense, in my opinion. They let Philly control the ball for 40 minutes of this game. Chicago just a mess. They are in last place. Hard to believe. And then the Lions, they lose to Oakland. They're down to 3-4-1. Same old Lions again. You look up and they just can't get out of their own way. This game is a total debauchery. I'm going to move the line to 9.5 and take Detroit. I think it'll be low scoring. Again, like the last game I talked about, I don't think either one of these teams is capable of blowing out the other. So I'll take Detroit with the 9.5. It's very hard to take Chicago. Very hard to take Chicago because they don't score. I mean, I'm getting the Lions with 9.5 points. The Bears might not score 9 points. I mean, I don't think I'm being too hard on them. Sometimes their offense is just non-existent. I'll take the Lions plus 9.5 and a 2-team teaser. 2 disappointing teams. That's pick number 8. Pick number 9, the Monday Night Football game, and a good one. Let's go to Santa Clara with the San Francisco 49ers. I'm -6 against the Seattle Seahawks. San Francisco, the only unbeaten. They're 8-0. Beat Arizona on Thursday Night Football. Hung on and won that game. Seattle up to 7-2. Beat Tampa in overtime. This is a very good matchup. Niners are -6 at home. I am going to move the line to 12 and take Seattle. I think this is a very good game. Again, if you told me you think San Francisco is going to win, I couldn't argue with you. But I think it's a must-watch game, a very good game, a very important game. So I think it's going to be close. I really do. So I feel comfortable taking Seattle plus 12, that they're at least going to hang in the game. This is another must-watch game this weekend. A real good game on Monday Night Football. But that's how I would play that one. To me, when you got a game this good, you might just want to sit back and enjoy the game and not put any money on it. But that's how I play that game. That's pick number 9. Pick number 10. Let's go down to Florida. And this had a chance to be a bags for pack trip, but it didn't outdo the Jets-Giants game. Tampa Bay Buccaneers -5.5 against the Arizona Cardinals. Tampa Bay down to 2-6, lost to Seattle. Listen, Tampa Bay's defense just isn't any good. They give up too many points. Their offense, when they avoid the turnovers, can get some things done, but their defense just gives up too many points. They could have won that game against Seattle, and they give up so many big plays and so many points all the time. 2-6, very disappointing for Tampa Bay. Arizona down to 3-5-1, lost to San Francisco. Arizona's been competitive this year. They actually have done better than I thought. I'm going to move the line to 11.5 and take Arizona. I think they can get some things done against that Tampa Bay defense. I just don't trust Tampa Bay. They're always fumbling and bumbling and stumbling. Turnovers, bad defense. I think Arizona can at least hang in the game. Again, not one of my favorite games of the week. If I had to play it, 11.5, Arizona, 2-team teaser. That's pick number 10. Pick number 11. Let's go to the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field with the Green Bay Packers a -5 against the Carolina Panthers. Carolina up to 5-3, beat Tennessee. Good rebound win for Carolina after they got dismantled out in San Francisco. Green Bay 7-2, lost to the Chargers. Listen, that's a burn the film game. Don't even watch the film. It was bad from start to finish. The Packers were never in this game. They were outplayed from the start. It's one of those games where it just didn't happen. Green Bay's had a very nice year. It just didn't happen. Burn the film. Don't even watch it. Start fresh this week. This is a very good game as well. Another game I'd put on the must-watch games this week. I'm going to move the line to 11 and take Carolina. I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be a close game. By the way, last week, what was it? On Sunday, I think all 11 or something like that home teams won outright. Wow, that's something else. I think it was something like that. 10-11, the home teams all won. But in this game, I'm going to move the line to 11 and take Carolina. They've been very competitive in just about all their games, only been blown out once. Green Bay, listen, they're coming home. They're probably going to be angry. It's an interesting, fascinating game. But if I can get 11 points with Carolina, I think it's going to be somewhat close. I'm not saying Carolina can go in there and actually win, but I feel good with the 11. So I'll take Carolina there. That's pick number 11. Pick number 12. Let's go to Nashville, Tennessee, with the Kansas City Chiefs at -3.5 against the Tennessee Titans. Titans down to 4-5, lost to Carolina. Chiefs up to 6-3, had a very good win against Minnesota with the backup quarterback. We don't know about Mahomes this week. So how do you play this game? I mean, if you're telling me Mahomes is playing, you got to take Kansas City. The spread will go up. You say Mahomes plays, the spread will probably go up to 7.5, 8.5. Maybe you move it down, a 2-team teaser, take the Chiefs. If Mahomes doesn't play, to me it's a throwout. You could talk me into Tennessee plus 9.5 if Mahomes doesn't play, but he's questionable right now. So to me, it may be a throwout. So it's a very strange game right now. That's pick number 12. Pick number 13, and this is the final pick. Like I said, 6 teams on a bye. Let's go to the Steel City in Pittsburgh, where the LA Rams are minus 3.5 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Rams up to 5-3. They were on a bye last week. Steelers, believe it or not, up to 4-4. They've won 3 in a row. Big win against Indianapolis. So give the Steelers credit. Without Roethlisberger, starting 1-4, they've gotten up to 4-4. Give them credit for battling. This is another strange game. This is probably a game I would stay away from as well. If I had to play it, I'd move the line to 9.5 and take Pittsburgh, thinking they can hang in the game at home. Pittsburgh's usually a very good home team. They very rarely get blown out at home. Rams is still spotty. You just don't know about the Rams this year. I know they've won a couple in a row, but against weaker opposition. If you ask me who was better, I'd say the Rams. But again, a very strange, tricky game. I'd probably stay away from them. If I had to pick it, maybe move it to 9.5 and take the Steelers in a 2-team teaser. So there you go. You guys are all set for NFL week number 10. Thanks as always for the support. Stay happy, healthy, and safe. Pick a lot of winners. Make a lot of money. I will talk to you guys next Tuesday. Take care.